All right. Hello and welcome into the latest edition of the Fore-All Podcast. I'm Jesse Morrison alongside Max Bechtold. First episode since Thanksgiving Day because I got sick. Yay. It was so fun. There's a like not that bad cold running around in the area, but I'm not going to bore people with my illness uh talk. We're going to talk about some women's golf and uh we have the some players that have now qualified for the LPGA Tour off of the Q series, and uh a lot of these players, Max, have played on the tour before, and I think Hinako Shibuno, highlights this list. Former major winner, she will be back on the LPGA tour. So just yeah, what are your thoughts on this so far?
Yeah, I sent a little bit of a list here of kind of the players that I think are the most maybe notable. 31 players qualified this year. It's the top 25 in ties. Hinako Shibuno, actually the last player in the LPGA qualifying. So that's kind of an interesting storyline. Obviously, she's kind of had some really great moments. She's had a couple top five finishes in majors. Almost kind of feels like obviously not as good, but kind of like a Brooks Koepka where she gets really up for the majors and sometimes struggles in the other events. But she has one of my favorite swings to watch on the LPGA Tour. And when you talk about all these Japanese stars, she's the biggest player in Japan. Like she is considered the superstar above all superstars in Japan. So it's really great to keep her on the tour. Some other notable players: Ryan O'Toole, of course, an LPGA Tour winner. Jody Ewart-Shadoff, an Olympian, a Solheim Cup player, staying on. Polly Mack, one of the longest hitters on the LPGA Tour, a player where she has so much potential. If she can just put it together, she could be really an electric player. Leah John, she actually led this after the first round, was a really good player on the Epson Tour, nearly made her card there. She gets it here. Helen Bream, another player like Polly Mack from Germany, super long hitter, really young player, very raw. But if you're looking for like a potential name to maybe crack the Solheim Cup team that kind of is coming out of nowhere for Europe, I think Helen Bream is one that could be up there. Mimi Rhodes, a player who's been playing really, really well in England. And then I didn't have it here, but Chiara Tamburlini, also a player who got some really good results in majors this past year. Played really well at the U.S. Women's Open, won a lot of tournaments on the Ladies European Tour. She's going to be coming over also. So there's a really good group. Like when I was scanning the list of players in the field, a lot of the players who I was looking out for the most actually made it, which is a great thing.
Yeah, and what I really like about this is that um, it gives some more opportunities to Epson Tour players to make the LPGA Tour. Uh, so many players have solid seasons over there, and for whatever reason, they don't quite make it, and so it's nice to see that be able to happen. And then some of these players like Shinubo, or Shibuno, sorry, like you mentioned, she's one of the most popular players in uh Japan, maybe the most popular player in Japan, and she gets the opportunity to not fall off, and she can continue playing, and even if she's an inconsistent player, her star power is a great thing for the LPGA tour. So to be able to have this kind of final shot at redemption on what could possibly be a bad year for an LPGA player or a really good year for an Epson Tour player is a good thing in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I absolutely, and this is a great way for again these international players to get to the LPGA Tour. Players like Tamburlini, I mean, all of these Japanese rookie stars, other than Takeda, they all came up through the Q Series. They didn't play on the Epson Tour, so your Yamashitas, your EY twins, they both were in the qualifying series last year finals, and so it's a some of these names could be superstars basically right away.
Yeah, who do you kind of look at as somebody, you mentioned the players that could potentially play in the Solheim Cup, but who are some players that can either, recapture some form and be, you know, great again, not have to be in this tournament again next year, or who's somebody that you see that in this that might be an up and coming star that we could see win once or twice, maybe even three times on the tour next year.
The number one player for me that I've been like just so excited about. I believe she played really really well in the Dow Championship. I think it was 2 years ago. Is Polly Mack, as I mentioned, super long hitter. When I was in Portland this year, the hole was a kind of dog leg, so players weren't taking full drivers. Most players were taking three woods. She took an iron and hit it every bit as far as anyone did with their three wood. She has so much potential, so much upside. If she can really put it all together, she's got crazy distance that I think could be really, really dangerous. You know, on tour. And Helen Bream, as I mentioned, her countrywoman, both from Germany, kind of the same thing. So I'm really excited to watch them because they're just super long hitters who I think the sky's the limit, almost like Austin Kim is for the United States. These feel like the same kind of players.
Max loves his long hitters.
I do. I love watching these players go out and just crush it.
Yeah, uh, the Lynn Grant, Max falls in love with Lynn Grant trajectory here applies to a lot of different players. If Max really is attaching himself to somebody, it's gonna be a long hitter.
Well, but the reason why is like let's just take for example Jody Ewart Shadoff is here also not the longest hitter. That's always going to be a limitation to her game. But any given week, Polly Mack can putt at an elite level and just run away with an event because she's going to have shorter irons in. She's going to be able to go for all the par fives. Like it's just the shorter hitters will never. They may be more consistent, but when you look at a player that could just run away from the field and put together a dominant performance, it's usually going to be a longer hitter.
Yeah, I mean it's a great point. Like I fully agree with you. I'm mostly just
Oh
giving
yeah,
you a hard time because it's a trend.
oh yeah,
We
absolutely.
could go back through podcasts of the past and find Max falling in love with various long hitters throughout the episodes that we've done. All right, Grant Thornton starts this weekend. It's gonna be a 3 round event. It is obviously we've talked about this before. It is a lot of really good players from the LPGA paired with some okay players to not okay players for the PGA. I'll run through some of these names here on the men's side, but I'll run through the women's field, which is really strong. You got Patty T, Lydia Ko, Lauren Coughlin, Brooke Henderson, Charlie Hull, Megan Kang, Jessica Corda, which is fun. We'll get back to her. Nelly Corda, Jennifer Kupcho, Andrea Lee, Maya Stark, Lexi Thompson, Lilia Vu, Lottie Wode, which is awesome. Angel Yin, Rose Zhang. So that's a great list
A
of
bit of a who's who
yeah, it's a bit of
outside
a
of
who's who.
Japan that doesn't have much representation, which is obviously unfortunate with the year they've had. Other than Japan, you've got maybe like
Yeah.
up there for the 16 biggest stars.
Men's wise, Lexi Thompson, she's playing with Wyndham Clark. Lilia Vu is playing with Tony Finau. Those are some pretty big names. Jason Day is a pretty big name. Jake Knapp won it last year with Patty Tavatanakit. Other than that, eh, Michael Kim maybe. Like
So
it's just
here's the thing, and this is where we're setting up: is I wrote an article this week. What would be the ideal field for this event?
yes.
Like, what would be the best possible field that could be put together? Jason Day is the only men's player that's playing this week that made my list.
Really, you didn't know Wyndham Clark doesn't make the cut for you?
No,
Major champion?
here are my teams. If you want to see more of the explanations, there's an article on the site because I put thought into why I paired each players together. But these are my pairings I came up with. I came up with 16 teams. Nelly Korda and Scotty Scheffler. Don't think there needs to be an explanation there.
That'd be great.
Charlie Hull and Rory McIlroy.
That'd be incredible.
Gino Titicun and Tom Kim. That they played together last year, so that's a team that didn't come along this time. But Lottie Wood and Justin Rose.
Okay, that's interesting. I like it.
Older English player with the new young English star. I think that would pair pretty cool. Megan Kang.
Good leadership aspect there from
Exactly.
Justin Rose.
Megan Kang and Keegan Bradley.
Okay.
The only team that I kept, which is Lydia Ko and Jason Day.
Okay.
Jessica Korda and Justin Thomas.
Love it.
Lynn Grant and Ludwig Oberg.
Okay.
Leona McGuire and Shane Lowry.
Okay.
One of the EY twins with Hideki Matsuyama. I don't care which one. Throw one of them in with Hideki Matsuyama.
I'd love that one. That one would be awesome.
Lilia Vu and Jordan Spieth.
What's wrong with Tony Finau? What has Spieth done like in the past? Like
he's just a big star. He's
a big star, but Tony Finau's
got majors,
been better lately.
Kinda, but they're both kind of going off. The biggest layup on the board, one that I'm just continuously shocked doesn't actually happen. Min Ji Lee and Min Woo Lee. What do we have to do to get the Lee siblings to play together in this? Brooke Henderson and Tommy Fleetwood. Allison Corpuz.
Do we really need to put Tommy Fleetwood through another event?
Yes, because and he and Brooke Henderson would be great because it's like those are the two people that I feel like nobody complains about ever if they win. Like people root for them like crazy. Like that would just be like the all like likable team. Allison Corpuz and Sahith Theegala, who played together last year in this also. They're childhood friends. They've got a fun story. Hannah Green and Adam Scott, and then Rose Zhang and Colin Morikawa.
Adam Scott.
Yeah, he's still
beyond washed.
No, he's still big. He still plays on the President's Cup. He's still a big name in Australia.
Yeah, but
he's like good events.
He's like pushing 50. We might as well just have Tiger play.
I did set the rule no Tiger because that's too easy. But this isn't like what are the best players in the world? It's like what would be intriguing teams, like ones that mainstream golf fans know. One that sure. Russell Henley is one of the best players in the world, but you want to bring guys like Adam Scott who kind of have that aura to them, who've won before, who have had great careers, and that's just like the kind of player. Like honestly, if like this current field just had Justin Rose and Adam Scott added to it, like two players certainly past their prime, but like still bring some star power, like the field would be so much better in my opinion. Like we just need some star power from the men's side.
You know what? Why not just have John Daly play?
I'm open to it.
Come on.
I mean, this needs some more intrigue from the men's side. Not necessarily the best players, just some more like intriguing personalities, big stars, like people that fans want to see.
All right. I agree with you to an extent. I really think that this men's side is pretty terrible. The only thing is I just have some objections with the particular players you're throwing out. But I want to shift this a little bit because we're doing a lot of complaining. This is an awesome field for the women's side.
Oh, it is.
This is a who's for the women's side, as you said. Absolutely. This is will be a great event if you want to watch great women's golfers and Absolutely. Throw the men's players to the side. I mean, it's great that they're playing, but like this is an awesome.
That's what I also want to get at is because I've complained a lot about this field of men's players. I do want to like commend the men's players that are playing. Like none of this should be taking away from them. It's just you'd like to see some more star power.
Yeah, for sure. But I think this is where, kind of treat it like a all-star LPGA event because that's what it is. I mean, this is like
Yeah.
All stars for the LPGA playing with like the third team All Pro, if there is one for the PGA Tour.
Yes.
So yeah, there's definitely some intrigue. I'm really intrigued to see Jessica Korda back out there. She has not played in a really long time. I'm just gonna say it right now. I I'm gonna be rooting for her to win. I know we're not supposed to be rooting for people here, but I'm gonna be rooting for her to win. Just in the same way that I'd love to see Philip Rivers go out there and play well for the Colts. I just somebody coming back would be a great story
Yeah.
to
Only
see
12
somebody.
years difference between them in age.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But there's a certain we've talked about how the LPGA is a young person's
Yes.
sport. And so it would be nice to see, Jessica Korda come back, make her return, and
It's
have
absolutely the most intriguing storyline here.
yeah. I'm intrigued to just see how she plays. Uh, See if I wonder if she's testing the waters. Like
I,
hey, maybe next year, let's see how I play in the Grant Thornton.
I think
Uh,
that's a very good possibility.
and so yeah, but anyway, Max, who are some pairings that you're really excited about here? And uh, who do you kind of see as maybe the couple that are a favorite?
I think the one that I would put as my favorite to win, and it's a team that it's the only team that had a substitution, a kind of last minute substitution to a PGA Tour player that I frankly wasn't very familiar with, but he's actually in pretty good form. And I think that this is a really big opportunity for him to get on a bigger stage, playing with one of the biggest stars, arguably the biggest on the LPGA Tour. It's Michael Brennan with Charlie Hull. Now, Charlie Hull has been in really good form as of late, also. I think these are two players who are coming in with a lot of momentum. So Michael Brennan, I don't know much about his game, but I see his recent results. I see Charlie's recent results. It feels like it's a match made in heaven. Obviously, Charlie Hull is really really good in these kinds of formats, as we've seen in the Solheim Cup. So I'm expecting quite a bit out of that team. And the other one is uh, is of course Nelly Corda and Denny McCarthy. Denny McCarthy and Nelly Corda have played together in events before. They should have a lot of chemistry. They know each other's games pretty well. I think that this is a better pairing for Nelly Corda than Tony Finau was. I think these two can really, really work well together. So I think those are the two teams that I would put to beat. Obviously not very creative there with going with Nelly Corda and Charlie Hull, but I do think those are two players who I think can go win this.
For me, to be completely honest with you, I don't know that much about Luke Clanton, but I've loved what I've seen out of Lottie Woad, and so I'm gonna be very intrigued with that. And just it would be a very impressive win for her,
Mm-hmm.
given the field.
Yeah,
So I'm not gonna say that she's a favorite, but don't be surprised, is my
I
opinion on that.
believe the two of them went to Florida State together, like at the same time. So they should know each other pretty well. They should know their games pretty well. They
Yeah,
obviously were in the same like practice facilities in college. So
sure
uh,
they've played a few rounds together in their time.
absolutely.
And then I Lydia Ko, Jason Day. It's a big name group. I've gotta say that I'm gonna be watching for what they do, and then I agree with you that Charlie Hull, Michael Brennan. I think that's gonna be uh really intriguing. You always look at players with momentum coming in here, but uh real quick before we get to your official prediction and my official prediction, what are your thoughts on the course? And then how should we expect to be watching this tournament?
So I really like Tiburon. Obviously, I was there last year for the CME Group Tour Championship, and obviously, it was just there 2 weeks ago. Also, so it's a course that obviously the LPGA players should be very very familiar with, and kind of be. I would expect them to take the lead a little bit with some of the course management. It's a great course. Obviously, a lot of water, a really great finish with holes 16, 17, 18. You hate the cliche, like anything can happen on the last three holes, but they really do feel like that here. The 17's a really big eagle hole. So I do like the course. TV times look pretty good. Obviously, Friday isn't as much, but we get some NBC action. So it'll be
Nice.
on NBC on both Saturday and Sunday, I believe. Sunday will be leading into Sunday Night Football, so it should get some extra maybe viewership off of the end of that. And so,
Love it.
yeah, pretty good TV times as you'd expect when they're playing with PGA Tour players. And yeah, great course. I can't wait to watch.
All right. Who you got?
I think I'm gonna go with Michael Brennan and Charlie Hull. I like riding the hot hand on these picks. Obviously, like I said, Nelly Korda and Denny McCarthy. I like Corey Connors and Brooke Henderson, who have known each other since they were kids. Like they have a lot of chemistry also, and Brooke has some decent form coming into this. But I do go with Charlie Hull and Michael Brennan.
I know that I didn't mention them as like one of my favorites, but I do think that there's got there's got to be a Nelly Korda win in 2025.
Yeah,
And while this isn't like, you know, like like an LPGA like regular season event, uh I it's still an event. It still would be a professional win.
great momentum
So
going into 2026.
great momentum. So I'm gonna go Nelly Korda. She's got the relationship with Denny McCarthy. I think that they win this one. Obviously, Nelly loves playing Florida golf. This is more Florida golf for her. So yeah, I'm gonna do it. I think I've picked her like 6 straight times or something
But
after
yeah,
not after saying I wasn't going to pick her the rest of the year. But you
we
know,
talk about Florida golf though. Just 2 weeks ago, she came in top three at this
exactly,
very course.
exactly. She's been playing good golf. It's just not been wins.
Yeah,
So at some point she's got to win. I think it's going to happen.
yeah.
So anyway, um what is up on the site other than you railing against the PGA, the lack of star power on the men's side for the Grant Thornton? Obviously, go to foreall.com, FORE-ALL.com. But yes, other than your scathing words on the lack of superstars in this event from the men's perspective, what else do you have to? Uh, what else do people need to be reading?
So coverage on the Grant Thornton. Then next week there will be coverage on the PNC Championship, which features Nelly Korda, Annika Sorenstam, and Izzy Stricker. So Grant Thornton will go right into that, and then we'll be into year-end recap kind of stuff. So just a lot of coverage of the event this weekend, next weekend. Yeah.
All right. And we will be back talking about this Grant Thornton Invitational and looking ahead to the PNC next week.